How's it going, guys? My name is Tavarish, and if you've been following my channel, you'll have known that 2 years ago, I got that white Lamborghini up there, and 1 year ago, I got that orange Lamborghini, and ever since, I've been buying these neglected supercars. But to be honest, I've had a Bugatti-shaped hole in my heart for the longest time. I've been waiting for the day when I can finally have one in the shop to call my own, and I'm super excited to say that today is not that day. So if you guys are new to the channel, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoy it, and subscribe if you like all of this, whatever this is. This is a Bugatti Veyron replica. It's not real. It's not a real Bugatti, if you didn't know this already. Now, I think I should start off the video by answering a question that all of you have, and that is, where did I find this car? And also, why did I get it? Because, well, we'll get to that later. The where is our sponsor for today's episode, and that is eBay Motors.
If you've ever wanted to sell a car and realize that it's a very time-consuming process, the new eBay Motors app makes it super easy in just a few simple steps. First, you can list with just your license plate. When selling a vehicle, you'll be prompted by the app to take a photo of the license plate, which the app will then use to automatically populate critical details such as make, model, year, and VIN. In just a few steps, in less than 5 minutes, you can create and populate a listing, including uploading images and a video of the vehicle to entice the right buyer. You also have AI-powered image sorting, which means when you list a vehicle on the eBay Motors app, images of the vehicle will be automatically organized by AI to provide a listing that looks like a mechanic created it.
Make sure to download the eBay Motors app. They're on Google Play and the iOS store right now. Go check it out. But this is a Veyron kit car. It's a replica. It's not a real one, as I've mentioned before, but this is a very well-made replica. Do I want to say well-made? The opposite of that. Now, when you make a replica, you have to base it on something that has the performance of the real car, and this is no slouch. This is based on the pinnacle of automotive performance perfection, a 1993 Honda Civic. So this is basically a Veyron. Let me explain to you what I mean by that, and no, I'm not crazy. Now, this shares a lot of elements with the real thing. First of all, it's really, really wide. I mean, this is, I think, wider than the Mercy that's next to it. Also, it's a two-seater. Even though the Honda was a four-seater, they deleted a bunch of stuff back there, so now it's a two-seater, just like the real car. It also has the traditional Bugatti front grille. It also has some active aero. The aerodynamics on the real Veyron, they contort and change depending on how fast you're going. And these are also, let's just say one side is a little bit more active than the other. Let's get a better angle. Whew. So this car, both in platform and in power numbers, is exactly like a real Veyron if you scale it to 25%. Let me show you what I'm talking about. The real Veyron has a all-wheel drive system with limited slip differentials, which means that all four wheels get power at all times. This has a front-wheel drive system with an open differential, which means that at any given point, there's only one wheel getting power. But speaking of power, let me show you what we got under here. Ow! Jeez. Sharp. Down here. In the real Veyron, you have a 1,000 horsepower W16 with 4 turbochargers. But on this one, the quarter scale Veyron, you have a Honda D-Series single cam 4-cylinder with 1 turbocharger. And while the W16 in the real Veyron makes 1,000 horsepower, this makes Honestly, I don't know. I doubt this has been on a dyno, but this setup should make around 250 horsepower, which again is a quarter of the real thing. So what this means is if you have 4 of these and you tape them together, then you have a real Veyron. That's how that works. But of course, being a kit car, that does mean that some things are a little less than OEM quality. There's some tolerances here. Now, the interior is honestly not that bad. It's quite spacious. It opens up just like a real Bugatti does. And it has this nice wooden steering wheel that I'm sure the real one has. And it even has a tilt function all the time, about 2 degrees. And you can't really turn it off. And it's also not bolted on. So that's how that works. This has a 5-speed manual transmission, and this is actually better than the Bugatti because it's manual, and manuals are better, so don't at me. This also has an enormous stereo system. It looks like the previous owner has taken out about half of the system. I don't know why. There's a lot of speakers missing in this car. Now, the cluster is actually really cool. It is a Honda S2000 cluster, and it revs all the way up to 9 grand. Now, the real Veyron does not rev to 9,000 RPM. I don't think this one does either, but for the sake of argument, let's just say it does. Now, there are a few things that's the sound of quality. So there are a few things that are just style for style's sake. Obviously, this is not a mid-engine car, so there don't need to be any vents back here, and this would usually be a vent in the real Veyron. This is just fiberglass. In fact, this entire whole thing is fiberglass. This was a kit made by somebody in Florida, and they sold it for $4,500. Now, why somebody would do this? I don't know. Florida has a lot of interesting people. So whoever bought this in the beginning got this painted like an actual Bugatti. The paint is not too bad. It's not too good, but it's sort of kind of reminiscent of the Bugatti Supersport. Now, this entire thing is, I actually don't know if there's a window back here. I think there probably is, and it absolutely kills the visibility when this thing is on the road, but I wouldn't know because I haven't actually started it. I haven't driven this car. I don't even know if it runs, and I'll tell you why I'm really scared to drive it, and that has to do with these things over here, the wheels. Now, without getting too geeky or technical, it's probably safe to say that your wheels and tires are very, very important to a car. And these are okay wheels. I believe they're like NK something. They're like an actual brand. What really surprises me and what really scares me is this thing back here. This is a huge spacer. It looks like it's a 4-inch spacer, and you definitely don't want that on your wheel because that basically takes the track out that much more, and it also puts a lot of strain on your lugs, it puts a lot of strain on your hubs, puts a lot of strain on the bearings, and it puts a lot of strain on your suspension in general. But these are not the biggest concern of mine because the rear wheels don't do the turning. The front wheels, however, those are a problem because the spacers bring out the wheels, and then when they turn, they completely screw up this thing called scrub radius. If you don't know what that is, just watch this. So if you didn't have these enormous spacers on a car, your wheel would sort of turn in a normal axis. When you put them out so much more, when you turn, they basically act like a lever, and it just looks horrendous, and this makes the handling, I think I'm on the body of the car. This makes the handling downright dangerous. Now, having said that, I don't think it would be fair to show you this car without at least trying to start it. So I think I'm gonna need my Bugatti hood prop, specially made for this car. Just we're going to connect the battery. Okay, it's a little spark, so that should be good. Now let's see. You turn the steering wheel, you just tilt it, and Okay. That's broken. Hey! That's not too bad.
Oh.
Sounds good.
No, turn it off. It's leaking fuel.
What?
It's leaking fuel.
It sounds pretty good. Huh?
It's pouring gas. You want to turn it off.
It's pouring what?
Gas.
It's pouring gas?
Gas out.
Is it actually? Oh, it smells really bad. Is it pouring? Is it actually pouring?
It was running off the back of the engine. I like the little Tweety bird when you turned it off, though.
Oh, that's raw gas.
Yeah.
That is raw fuel. Just straighten it out. Oh my God! Oh, that is so loud. Ow! Ah, really, really loud. Okay, so the Bugatti has left us a present, and one of the hose clamps is just completely cut. So now I have to answer the question of why I got this car, and that is, I don't know. I just saw this on the internet, I saw this on eBay, and I had to have it. In fact, I saw this in the completed listings, and I emailed the guy, and eventually we ended up agreeing on a price, which was his asking price of $4,500. That's right, I paid $4,500 for this gem of a car, and I have something fun I want to do with it, and that is going to be all up to you. I have no idea what I'm going to do with this, and I want to make it up to you guys what this build is going to be. Should I destroy it? Should I build it up? Should I make it faster than a real one? I don't actually think that last one is possible, but if you want to see something done with this car, write it in the comments below, and then you guys can vote on it. Let me know what you guys think should be done with this amazing, amazing car. I need to get my hearing checked. It really, really hurts. So that's going to be it for today's episode. Hope you guys enjoyed it. In the next weeks, I'm going to be showing you even more cars that I bought. You see a bunch of cars underneath tarps. Those will get unveiled, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So until next time, this is me reminding you guys that on cars like this that look really, really something, you guys need to build it better, and to do that, you need to wrench every day. I just stepped in gasoline.